Camouflage, meaning the act of concealing the identity of something by modifying its appearance. Synonyms: disguise, concealment, cover. Example: the soldier used branches and leaves as camouflage to blend into the forest. Perch, meaning a spot where something or someone rests or sits, often high up. Synonyms: roost, sit, settle. Example: the bird perched on the branch, surveying the surroundings. Disperse, meaning to scatter in different directions. Synonyms: scatter, spread, distribute. Example: the police dispersed the crowd after the event ended. Spatial, meaning relating to space or the position, area, and size of things. Synonyms: geographical, dimensional. Example: her spatial awareness helped her navigate the maze quickly. Nocturnal, meaning active during the night. Synonyms: nighttime, after dark. Example: owls are nocturnal creatures, hunting primarily at night. Latter, meaning referring to the second of two things mentioned. Synonyms: second, last, subsequent. Example: between tea and coffee, I prefer the latter. Immense, meaning extremely large or great. Synonyms: huge, vast, enormous. Example: the immense size of the mountain left the hikers in awe. Rumor, meaning a circulating story of doubtful truth. Synonyms: gossip, hearsay, speculation. Example: there's a rumor that the company is going to lay off employees. Fiction, meaning literature that describes imaginary events and people. Synonyms: novel, story, fantasy. Example: she enjoys reading science fiction novels. Wrecked, meaning completely destroyed or severely damaged. Synonyms: ruined, devastated, demolished. Example: the car was completely wrecked after the accident. Prototype, meaning a first or preliminary version of a device or vehicle from which other forms are developed. Synonyms: model, sample, original. Example: the company unveiled its new car prototype at the exhibition. Apprehension, meaning anxiety or fear that something bad will happen. Synonyms: fear, anxiety, worry. Example: there was a sense of apprehension in the room before the results were announced. Solemn, meaning formal and dignified, serious. Synonyms: serious, grave, somber. Example: he gave a solemn speech during the funeral. Etiquette, meaning the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group. Synonyms: manners, decorum, protocol. Example: it's important to follow proper etiquette when dining in a fancy restaurant. Differing, meaning being not the same in opinion or fact. Synonyms: contrasting, disagreeing, varying. Example: they have differing views on the new policy. Predecessor, meaning a person who held a job or office before the current holder. Synonyms: forerunner, precursor, antecedent. Example: the new manager is much stricter than her predecessor. Halt, meaning to stop or cause to stop. Synonyms: stop, cease, pause. Example: the sudden rainstorm forced the hikers to halt their journey. Abundance, meaning a very large quantity of something. Synonyms: plenty, profusion, excess. Example: the garden produced an abundance of fruits this season. Extract, meaning to remove or take out, especially by effort or force. Synonyms: remove, pull out, derive. Example: they extracted gold from the mine. Resistant, meaning opposed or impervious to something. Synonyms: immune, impervious, defiant. Example: some bacteria have become resistant to antibiotics. Slurry, meaning a mixture of water and finely divided materials such as cement, plaster, or coal. Synonyms: mixture, sludge. Example: the workers used a slurry to fill the cracks in the road. Ramification, meaning a consequence of an action or event, especially when complex or unwelcome. Synonyms: consequence, result, implication. Example: the decision to close the factory had serious ramifications for the local economy. Terrestrial, meaning relating to the earth or land. Synonyms: earthly, land-based. Example: terrestrial animals, unlike aquatic ones, live primarily on land. Marginalization, meaning the treatment of a person, group, or concept as insignificant or peripheral. Synonyms: exclusion, sidelining, ostracism. Example: the marginalization of certain communities has led to social unrest. Vandalism, meaning action involving deliberate destruction of or damage to public or private property. Synonyms: destruction, defacement, damage. Example: the building was a victim of vandalism after being abandoned. Elaborate, meaning involving many carefully arranged parts or details, detailed and complicated in design and planning. Synonyms: detailed, intricate, complex. Example: she gave an elaborate explanation of the plan. Unanimous, meaning fully in agreement. Synonyms: agreed, united, in accord. Example: the committee's decision was unanimous. Arouse, meaning evoke or awaken a feeling, emotion, or response. Synonyms: stir, provoke, stimulate. Example: the movie was designed to arouse strong emotions. Abolish, meaning formally put an end to a system, practice, or institution. Synonyms: eliminate, eradicate, annul. Example: slavery was abolished in many countries during the 19th century. Decisive, meaning settling an issue, producing a definite result. Synonyms: determining, conclusive, definitive. Example: the battle was a decisive victory for the army. Conspicuous, meaning standing out so as to be clearly visible. Synonyms: noticeable, obvious, prominent. Example: her bright red coat made her conspicuous in the crowd. Boast, meaning talk with excessive pride and self-satisfaction about one's achievements or abilities. Synonyms: brag, gloat, show off. Example: he often boasts about his accomplishments. Gallant, meaning brave or heroic. Synonyms: courageous, valiant, noble. Example: the firefighter made a gallant effort to save the child. Fantasy, meaning imagination, especially when extravagant and unrestrained. Synonyms: imagination, daydream, illusion. Example: she often escaped into a world of fantasy. Repercussion, meaning an unintended consequence occurring after an event or action. Synonyms: consequence, outcome, effect. Example: the layoffs had serious repercussions on the company's morale. Pretense, meaning an attempt to make something that is not the case appear true. Synonyms: deception, falsehood, charade. Example: he made a pretense of being ill to avoid going to school. Extol, meaning praise enthusiastically. Synonyms: praise, laud, acclaim. Example: the professor extolled the virtues of lifelong learning. Virtue, meaning behavior showing high moral standards. Synonyms: goodness, morality, integrity. Example: patience is a virtue. Spontaneous, meaning performed or occurring as a result of a sudden impulse or inclination and without premeditation. Synonyms: impulsive, unplanned, instinctive. Example: the audience gave a spontaneous standing ovation. Intervened, meaning come between so as to prevent or alter a result or course of events. Synonyms: mediate, step in, intercede. Example: the teacher intervened before the argument turned physical. Trivial, meaning of little value or importance. Synonyms: unimportant, insignificant, minor. Example: he always worries about the most trivial things.